I was hoping I was worried for nothing.
The old man could not hide his lament upon entering the forest. With every step came a sensation devoid of life. He had walked without rest all the way from Pandemonium to here, Grand Flores. His only company was his compass. A compass made by the old man himself. It was a special one that pointed in the direction of the flow of a certain energy used by the people from his homeland. At Pandemonium, where the said flow does not exist, the compass would sometimes simply come to a halt. It was just last night that he ended his brief visit to Pandemonium. He had noticed the severance of the great flow of a rod caused by a massive impact on the Great Pentacle. He ceased all his research in Pandemonium and made haste here, but it was too late. Walking through the woods, the wandering old mage thought of his old friend. The reason why he came to Arad, why he studied metastasis at Pandemonium, and why he came here was all thanks to the plan he made with his old friend.
I'll find you if the plan changes. I'm sure you'll know in time as well.
If that moment was now, he had to find clues for the future. The first order of business was naturally to check the Great Pentacle, but there was something else that he had to look into first. A familiar flow of magic that he could feel, riding along the unstable flow in the forest. It was his magic, without a doubt. But at some point, the compass could no longer keep track and would only spin without end. And it was only then that the old man realized that he had been passing through the same place over and over, just like the disoriented needle of the compass. The last time something like this happened, a kind person guided him to find his way, but he could not depend on fortune like that again. The old man lowered his body and held the dirt beneath his feet. Then, using his own magic, tried to follow the flow back to the origin of the magic. But he could not trace the path clearly. Someone had cast a powerful spell to hinder whoever that would attempt to do so. But it was not all fruitless. The old man raised himself from the ground and began walking. He strode without hesitation, as though an invisible path was laid out before him. Soon he ceased his steps before a pile of rocks.
A pentacle? To cause confusion with a new flow of magic like this. How intriguing.
Don't touch that!
He had no such intention. He only wished to know how it was doing what it was. But a young red-headed girl running towards him from a distance reminded him of his old friend in Pandemonium and sparked a small desire to tease her.
I was just taking a look. It seems I've interrupted your herb gathering.
In her hand and basket were herbs, still fresh with dirt on them. His eyes turned to the wooden staff in her hands.
You seem to be a mage. Is this pile of rocks your creation?
I can't tell you that. Anyway, you can't touch that, ever.
At her hardly intimidating threat, the old man could guess that she indeed knew something.
All right. Well, let me ask for a favor then.
A favor?
I really need to find something, but it's not easy for an old man, not to mention I'm an outsider. Could you perhaps accompany me?
That's a bit difficult. I have some urgent business.
Urgent, such as treating something?
The magic he could feel was unstable, unlike his friends. So was the flow all around them. Judging by the girl's behavior, it seemed very plausible that they were related. But one thing he could be sure of was...
Your basket seems to have some medicinal herbs and ingredients for cleansing magic.
The girl became startled and hid the basket behind her.
I am something of a herbalist and a mage myself. So why don't we help each other out, little friend?
In the past, he never would have taken such a gentle and time-consuming approach, but it seemed as though the time in Arad had turned the old man more generous.
Doesn't seem like what I am looking for is around here.
Then let's go over there. There are a lot of herbs there too. Oh, not that way.
Her name was Shireen. After losing her master to an unfortunate accident, She had been living alone in this forest to gather herbs and study magic. She was constantly trying to lead them elsewhere, away from where they met. She was like a clumsy squirrel, trying to keep its stash of acorns hidden. But it was without a doubt that the more he followed her, the further they veered away from the source of the magic. The day was already coming to its end. The old man couldn't find what he wanted, and the herbs were wilting away.
I don't think we'll be finding what I am looking for. You should go on your way before the herbs go bad.
I'm sorry. If you can tell me what it is, I'll look for it later.
Is that a promise?
Of course! You've helped me so much!
He knew she wasn't lying. Shireen's face was indeed dashed with guilt. The old man decided that it was time to end this gentle search.
I believe there's a place we haven't been to, friend.
We haven't been to...
Where what you want to save is. Perhaps a place with very powerful magic.
That's...
If it's by chance related to Meyer, then what I'm looking for is there as well.
Shireen tightly grasped her staff.
Who are you?
Her question reminded him of his own name after such a long time. Kaldon Zavi, the sage. At Celesti, his home, there was no one that did not know his name. Out of the 3 golden ages, he had brought upon the 2nd golden age, the age of machines, and was recognized as a sage for his great accomplishment. And Meyer was the sage who opened the door to the 1st golden age, the age of magic.
Kaldon, you really should go meet more people. Meyer, I would rather study one more machine than waste my emotions. I would not want to waste my time.
Kaldon Zavi and Meyer were, in fact, very different people. Meyer saw truth through nature and people, and Kaldon Zavi through machines and analysis. But as the harmony of machines and magic brought forth the golden age of Celesti, Meyer, Kaldon Zavi, and one more sage, the 3 learned and formed harmony through their differences, and they agreed to join Meyer in his plans. Now, Kaldon Zavi had to learn about Meyer's next plans. All of the plans he knew ended with the unexpected destruction of the Great Pentacle. Whether he needed help or where he should be headed, Meyer must have left clues behind. Kaldon Zavi believed without an ounce of doubt. That is why he had to convince the little friend before his eyes right now.
I am an old friend that shares Meyer's will.
He then brought his hand to the herbs of the basket and brought life back to them. Shireen could feel a certain familiarity in the magic that enveloped the herbs.
It's that tree over there.
Elvenmere was more beautiful than any other place in Grand Flores. If only the great tree at the center of the pond was in full glory, it would have been even more so.
Master told me to keep this place safe should anything happen to her.
Tears welled up in Shireen's eyes.
But Grand Flores started dying after the Great Pentacle was destroyed, and the tree's withering as well.
She wanted to keep her master's will and protect the tree with whatever she could, even knowing that any normal cleansing magic would be useless. Kaldon Zavi could not take his eyes off the tree even whilst listening to her words.
Grandpa?
He took exactly 10 steps forward, then raised his hands without a word. Lines of warm light began to loom from beneath his feet. They were like constellations of stars, or circuits of a machine, or a single unified flow. The lines crossed the pond holding all the scenery and headed towards the great tree. But lines that reached the tree could not meet their ends and scattered.
Meyer, so you had planned for this since the moment you came here.
He could tell. This was the lock to Meyer's clues, and the only key to it was his magic. He connected the lines. Despite them being magic, they fit perfectly like matching cogwheels and fitting keys to a lock. Spring returned to the twisted tree. Shireen beheld the scene without a word, but his eyes only gazed at the tree. His magic controls and reads the flow of all things. Sometimes that flow may hold memories. Meyer was always fascinated by his magic. He looked at the great tree with the restored flow and read the memories the tree saw and heard. Soon, he turned back to Shireen.
Is there anyone else that knows about this place?
Yes, they also felt Meyer's magic as soon as they came here.
So, they are the ones to share this great fate.
Caldon Zavi, he himself was as well. He ended his magic and looked at Shireen.
It seems I should make ready to go back to whence I came.
Back where?
The mist beyond the skies.
There were no farewells, just smiles.